church family, I hope this week's video finds you and your family doing great. I hope you had a great weekend. I want to remind you, please use these videos not only to help you in your own walk with the Lord as you apply the messages that our pastor's preaching, but I really want to encourage you to maybe use these as family devotion starters. So if you're really not sure what to do your family devotion on, use this as sort of the foundation for that. Well, what about this previous week's message that our pastor preached? Well, remember that he's talking about the importance of living life in focus, and specifically focusing on the gospel. Well, what does that look like in our individual lives? Well, this week the big idea was this. When we say that we're focusing on the gospel, we have to really ask this question: what is it and who is it that I am loving? And Brother Ricky preached from Matthew chapter 22, verses 32 through 40, and that passage is all about this question. When the religious leaders asked Jesus, they asked him, what are the most important commandments? And Jesus said the first one is that we would love God with everything that we are and have. And second, that we would love our neighbor as ourselves. Well, obviously that causes us to ask the question, what does my love life really look like? And specifically, we've got to ask about our love in two different areas of life. The first one is pretty obvious, and here it is. Am I loving God above all things? Here's the big idea. To know God in a personal relationship is to want to love Him. So many times people say, well, I am a Christian and I do love God. Well, ask yourself this question. If you love God, do you really want to love Him more? Is there a passion, is there a burning desire in your heart and in your life to want to love Him more? Or to say that another way, to want Him to rule and reign even more in your life. So do you love God supremely? When we focus on the gospel, we will love God supremely and we will want to love Him more. So when you get your family gathered around this week, you may could ask some questions, something like this. What does it look like to love God? What can we do to love Him more? And then who or what is the king of your life? So if we say that we're focused on the gospel, we are going to love God and want to love Him more. Second, if we say that we're focused on the gospel, we will want to love others. So truth number one, to know God is to love Him and want to love Him more. Secondly, to love God means that we want to love other people. Brother Ricky referred to 1 John chapter 4, verses 19 and 20, and those verses say that we can't say that we love God if we don't love other people. So again, gather your family around and ask questions something like this. What does it look like to love other people? Why is it hard to love other people? And what can we do to love other people more? Focusing on the gospel really causes us to ask, what does my love life look like? So gather your family around and think and talk and pray about that. God bless.